Hello, everyone. Hi. Welcome to Awakening in the Modern World and Hilary Raven Porter. I guess the channel's Hilary Raven Porter, but I talk a lot about awakening in the modern world. So yeah, hi. How's it going? Today I really want to share with you somebody who I met about a month ago. I was actually at the Intuitive Arts Festival. I had a booth there and I was offering mini sessions and my essences and just talking to people about what I do, getting the name out there. And I met these beautiful, beautiful people from Earth Family Crystals. If you haven't heard of them, you need to go and check them out. They're on Instagram, they have their own website, they're based out of Salt Spring Island. But I was blessed to meet Sabrina, and then later on I met Ross, her partner, and they introduced me to some crystals. So, not all crystals are the same. You might have amethyst and amethyst, but crystals are really conduits, or they're really good at picking up that they are conduits, but they're really good at picking up the energy of what's going on around them. So all crystals aren't created equally. It's like anything. How was it harvested? How was it transported? How was it loved? Who's had it before? What else has it been in contact with? All of those things. So if it's not ethically harvested, if it's around this really dark energy or negative energy, those are all going to come through in the crystals that you pick up. And yes, we can clear crystals, but there comes an extent where do you want to spend months, days, weeks, years clearing something, right? It might not be right for you. So their crystals they're beautiful people and their crystals are absolutely amazing. No, I am not getting any kickbacks from them for this. I just really believe in when you find something, share the knowledge, especially when it's from something so beautiful and high quality, high vibe. So, who did I get introduced to from these people? My second day there, Ross comes over and he's like, I think I have a friend that wants to hang out at your table. And he hands me this piece of Auralite. I was like, I have to have this Auralite. But it's very rare and it's very expensive in bigger pieces. So I put the Auralite on my table. I hung out for the day. It was really lovely. But partway through the day, I was like, I need to go talk to him. And he hands me this other piece. So the one that he put on my table, it just felt like it jolted straight down my spine, activated the Kundalini, was very powerfully into the earth and the sky. Then he handed me her. And automatically, I took her in my hands, and she went straight to my heart. I was like, I have to have her. I need to not have her. I need to adopt her. Like, yeah. So they made it happen. They were so amazing with the transaction that we made and the trade that we made so that she could come into our home. So I'm going to show you her first. And then, since then, oh my goodness, I now have multiple pieces of Auralite. So this is Auralite. So see, you can see the red up here. So this is iron. So that's the grounding quality of her. And see these chevrons? So what are those called? Let me double check. I have so many notes. I have like 6 pages of notes on her. She's so powerful. They're called Lumerian crystal markings. So these are the ancient symbols from the ancient civilizations because they are coming back slowly. That's the awakenings that are happening. That is the connection to guides, to spirit, to stars. All of that is coming through is from these ancient civilizations that are helping us, not all of them, but that is one aspect of what is helping us in this awakening process that is happening, in this raising of our consciousness. So yeah, so see the chevrons? Did I go that way? I went that way. Let's see that way. There, isn't she beautiful? And then this part right here, every time I look at her, it's not as clear on the video, but this spot right here, every time I look straight onto her, reminds me of the third eye. Every single time. I look straight on and it's just like right there. So she's also pyramids. See? Look at the pyramidal qualities, which is very aligned with what I do. The esoteric acupuncture is activations of sacred geometry with crystals or needles. The Tamiana crystal healing, that's all pyramid structures, hexagonal. pronounce that one. Structures, right? Merkabahs, all of that stuff. So we met this Auralite, and before, yeah, I'm going to talk about what's in her, all of that. Let's just go into that now. I can share stories as we go. So Auralite is also called Auralite 23 or Auralite Amethyst. The other one is the Kindred Spirit Crystal. So she's called Auralite 23 because she is a combination of 23 different minerals and crystals. But there are also other constituents, things within her that can't even scientifically be identified yet, which makes sense. So, over 1.5 billion years ago, she was formed. She's one of the oldest crystals on this earth. So, she comes from Thunder Bay, Ontario. Thunder Bay, if you look at it from the sky, it looks like a crater impact. So, she impacted, the meteor impacted the earth, and that pressure created these crystals. Well, aspects of that meteor are in these crystals, right? The impact went through the earth, and you know what's on the other side of the earth from where Thunder Bay is where Super 7 is found. And Super 7 is 7 different crystals, minerals, right, within. So when I was talking to Ross, it just makes total sense. He's like, well, Auralite is like the grandfather of Super 7 because the impact sent all this power through and activated the grouping of what makes Super 7 down on the other end of the earth. Makes sense. But of course, there's more aspects to Auralite 23 because that's where the original impact was. So I use Super 7 in my practice. When did I first meet Super 7? Oh, that's funny. I don't even know. It's about a year ago, actually. Oh, that's crazy. Okay. So Super 7, it helps you connect into your antakarana or your galactic cord. And so I use her in practice a lot. So it makes sense that Auralite all of a sudden is high and is like taking over my life. So what is the 23 things that are in Auralite? Okay, I've got excuse my mispronunciations. So it contains 23 different earth elements and minerals. Like I said, some not identified. You ready? Titanite, caxozenite, lepidocrosite, ajoite, hematite, magnetite, pyrite, sphalerite, pyrolusite, gold, silver, platinum, nickel, copper, iron, limonite, amethyst, which we talked about, covalite, chalcopyrite, guiolite, epido, bornite, rutile, and smoky quartz. Power. And there's so much. So each of those has its own healing qualities. And when you can combine them, you get this like powerful, powerful Auralite. Okay, story time. So we brought home Auralite. My partner picks her up. I'm doing work at my computer, i.e. office space in the kitchen, and all of a sudden things start swimming. And I'm just like, what is going on? And I look over, and I'm like, Dare, you need to put Auralite down, please. Oh my goodness. He puts her down, and everything just goes, whew. I was like, okay, thanks. He's like, but I just want to hold her. Picks her up again. I'm like, everything. It's like, you can't do that right now. I need you to put her down. So he puts her down. Well, what Auralite does, so Auralite is not for the beginner. Auralite, and if you're not ready to do the work, and if you don't have a grounding solid base, because it connects you to the Akashic Records, it opens up your spiritual DNA, it decalcifies your pineal gland, right? Third eye, opens up like all these aspects of you. So both Dare and I are well-versed, still growing, but well-versed within the spiritual realms, because you never actually stop growing. Just saying. If you ever say you're done learning. Anyways, so we both have had our experiences. We both do a lot of work. But she was opening up more areas. And we just met her. Like literally, I think this was 2 days after she entered our home and became part of the family. So our vibration was going like this through the roof. Another step. So you might have heard me talk before where there's like this step system, right? So when you go up, that's where all these shifts happen and you're like, what is going on? And sometimes you have to integrate things at a really fast pace. You're learning these lessons, things are being peeled back because your vibration is changing. It's really fast. And then you go across and it's this plateau where things are integrating. And you're like, okay, that feels okay. And then this up again, right? And it eventually changes from like really short and like really long, and it feels like it's taking forever to integrate, and then short. Eventually, it's a short upshift and then a longer integration because you're already vibrating so high, right? It's not such a shift for you. Well, that's what was happening with Auralite, but it was like, and then we were integrating, but it was like day 2, day 3 that we'd had her in the home. So yeah, so I took her to the ocean, I cleansed her, and we spent 7 days together, just me and her. Nobody else was allowed to touch her. She was on my altar to integrate, because we're very tightly bonded. Yeah. So he then gave Auralite to my kidlet. And that was the most hilarious thing ever because it opens up, like it's very heart-centered too, and it opens up everything. Opens up all the channels, it opens up your crown chakra, connects it to the heart, right? Changes the vibration. It's so crazy. And kids are already run pretty high. Like they have a pretty high vibration, and then slowly as society takes hold, their vibration can get more dense unless they're continually giving these opportunities. And all of a sudden, it was just stream of consciousness. And then heart-centered everything. Bought us flowers. It was, my heart was just exploding. Walked with us, but like wouldn't stop. But everything that was coming out of his mouth was just like heart, 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 heart. And there was nothing attached to it. It was just a stream of consciousness. And he felt so much more grounded. So that's what's interesting about Auralite. So it does open up these channels up, 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 up. Akashic Records, past lives. It'll help you go into the past lives and switch and adjust the traumas so that they can be released, right? Look into the patterns that have happened in the past. But even though there's all these like crystals and they're all up, 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 this iron helps ground it out. You have to have a good foundation already. Okay, let's see. We talked about the connection. So this is a connection to the starseed home. Why? Because of those aspects of the starlight that are within her from the impact of the earth, from the meteor. Connects us and reminds us of our starseed home. Okay. So, like I said, I have these notes. I'm going to do a couple more videos on her because there's like, do you want to see really how many notes? Look at this. Ready? 1. This is all the like spiritual stuff and emotional, mental stuff that she helps with. The physical things, the precautions. So we got that page. And then there's like a whole nother, right? So she's related to the number 33 as her numerology and the planet of Neptune. The star signs that she aligns with are Aquarius and Pisces. When I found this out, goosebumps and chills, and it makes so much more sense because I'm an Aquarius with a Pisces rising. Bam! What's my favorite number? 3. And her number's 33. I was just like, you were so made for me. So I took her to the ocean, like I said, and I bathed there. She loves the water. She loves the water. Let's see here. So some quick and dirty about Auralite. She helps calm your chattering mind. So I go through these phases of anxiousness and like irritability, and depending on how busy I am and what's going on, and also I'm aging and certain things are shifting within me, and every time I hold her, she takes the edge off, and she just like, she makes everything not so serious. She makes things light, but what makes not so serious, but she's making you do the work. Because if you don't do the work, but she helps cut those cords. She helps smooth those edges. She brings that brightness so that the work doesn't seem so heavy. Because doing the spiritual work, when people are like, it's all love and light, it's not all love and light. And if you're not ready to do the work, you're not going to see the transformations and feel that ease within your spiritual journey that can come, that buffering that can come, right? And I thought it was just me noticing on the inside, but I actually had people on the outside being like, something's a little bit different. What's going on there? And even just within interactions and how those were going on a daily basis, right? She instills laser sharp clarity and spiritual awareness, which we talked about, dispels mental influence, and releases outdated belief systems. So there's these belief systems that we get attached to that we've either put upon ourselves, we've got from society, that have been in our DNA from how we've grown up, but also from the past that has been influenced onto us. Let me rephrase that one. The past that has been put into our DNA, and it's either our past lifeline or our parents' past lifetimes, right? It could be this generation or this lifetime, or it could be past lifetimes that are these things. We're living the patterns of our parents, per se, right? Per chance. See, she's sitting right here, and all of a sudden I'm like, whoa. I can't actually take her into my healing treatment room anymore. Not anymore. She will come again at some time. But the last couple times I've taken her, because the space is cozy, it's been so intense by the end of the day. So I actually, story time, tangent. I'd been saying I wanted a touchstone to go around. And I was like, I need a touchstone, a soft, smooth piece of Auralite. Because this one likes to come and snuggle, but she weighs like 5 pounds. And she's kind of pokey, so she's not going to fit very well in my pocket. And even though I have carried her around before in my backpack. But, so I really wanted this. And then all of a sudden, a couple days later, during a session, a client came in and was like, I'd like to do an energy exchange. The session had been gifted to them. And they exchanged, the energy exchange they gave me was Auralite as a touchstone. And it's got like this like stamp, and just how flashy feels. It fits like perfectly. So that was the second piece of Auralite that came into our life. And she kind of goes everywhere with me now. The third piece of Auralite that came into our life, so it's not actually 3, it's actually another 7. I don't know if you'll just see. I got those guys. Here, let's just put them all in my hand. Look at that. 7 pieces of Auralite. They're going to be used now in the healing sessions, and one made into a necklace so that she goes everywhere with me. And as we brought her in, like I touch her now, and I don't have that same sensation that I did before. It was like, ooh, what's going on? She's been, during Reiki sessions, my partner and I both do Reiki sessions, and he was doing one on me, and I put it between my ankles, and everything just automatically went, and I was like up out of my body, and all these things were working. And he was doing an aura scan and an aura patching, and it went through the aura levels, and it was just like this crazy, everything was, Akashic Records were entered, and past lifetimes came up, and yeah, it was amazing. So, releasing the outdated belief systems, right, that aren't ours, or are ours, that don't serve us anymore, okay? Protection against invasion of other people's thoughts or beliefs. If you're an empath especially, what's happening is you're getting this information from other people, and you're like, wait a minute, is that mine? And even if you have boundaries, and you've set healthy boundaries, and you have good skills, we still have days, we're still human, right? Or in this human body. And we still have days where our boundaries aren't as strong as other days. So Auralite will help you with that. It's exceedingly ancient, which we talked about. We talked about the Akashic Records, and helps us access the past life and very ancient healing. Enhances the metaphysical abilities and shamanic journeying. So the metaphysical abilities, after I started holding her and being with her every day, I have a lot of psychic abilities and intuitive abilities. And all of a sudden, so I was speaking light language before. It's a Pleiadian light language within my sessions, but it was mostly while I was doing Tamiana. I was activating the crystals, and then my guides would come through, and Takaya would speak her words. She's a shamanic feline entity from the Pleiadian realms. And all of a sudden, I was no longer translating in my head and having to listen and be like, those are the words, and then say them. They consciously just come through now as a steady stream of thought. And in other sessions, and power up those sessions and create this healing space at a higher, more intense level than they did before. The clairgnosis, the knowing, has also been powered up. The clairaudience has been powered up. My clairvoyance has been powered up, and things are just, they're faster, they're clearer. I can't say enough about her, obviously. Let's see. Profound healing power, bringing immense well-being on all levels. And this is just the small part of her. So, before I head off, a couple precautions. She's not for the faint of heart. I want to make sure I get all of these. She's not for the faint of heart. If you don't have a good grounded, solid base, I highly recommend that you do some grounding work before you acquaint yourself a little intensely with her, because she doesn't do half-mast. If you start working with her, it's all or nothing. She is a crystal that does not just want to be put on your shelf and been like, look how pretty she is. She is here to be used for the expansion of consciousness for all humankind, for yourself, for the awakening that is happening now. She is here as a work crystal, not as a look at me, I'm pretty crystal. She's pretty though too, right? She's very powerful at activating the spiritual DNA and your pineal gland, your third eye, opening up the vision and the insight. I highly suggest, if you plan on working with her, have a guide, have somebody that can hold space for you and offer you wisdom and support as you are moving through working with her, if you are starting out on your journey, and helping you get into that grounded space. So important. So many times in my journey at the beginning, I didn't have the support. I didn't have my mentor, and I had no idea what was happening. I had no idea how to contain it, and I could do my best and look at the internet and read books and do all these things, but it wasn't the same as having somebody go, this is what you're working through right now, specific to you. Here's a tool for you. All the difference in the world. All the difference in the world. I feel very blessed to have that support. So find that support for you. Be well grounded to use this crystal. Okay, we talked about that. Have that grounding base, right? So that is Auralite. I'm so very excited. I'm doing another round of creating crystal essences come this, actually Christmas is the next eclipse, and then there's another one in January. It's going to be so good. It's going to be a powerful grouping of crystals like Iolite, clear quartz. Super 7. To make some very powerful medicines. So keep an eye out for that as well. If you're looking for support and you need that support, please feel free to reach out. I do distance, I do local, I have all these different ways and tools to assist you in your ascension process and in your awakening, specific to your journey. Okay? I think that's all I have to say for now about her. I will come on. Like I said, I have 4 pages of notes. I want to talk more about what she offers spiritually, more about what she does physically, because she relaxes everything. She helps release chronic conditions, which is just like a breath of fresh air. Yeah. Okay. So much. Can you tell I'm excited about her? Just a little bit. So much love in Stardust. I hope you're able to gather some information today. I will see you soon. Have a most excellent day.